welcome back. This is BallerScuba with more Let's Play Pokémon LeafGreen. I am joined, as always, by Dumpus and his Pokémon team of Sanders, Fuzimi, Samjo, Pieri, Nibbler, and Rumpus. Sanders and Nibbler are here. Bebo and Templayer had to be removed temporarily. They just weren't adding anything to the party that I didn't already have. We are still in Vermilion City, and we just got cut because we finished off the SSN. Now, I went back and checked the underground path. For some reason, the items still aren't showing up for me. I know where they are, but they're just not there, and I'll just keep checking to see when they show up. I might need the item finder, but I'm told that I don't. We have a couple options available to us. We could go to the gym, but I'm going to avoid that for the time being. Instead, we're going to go back into Diglett Cave, and we're going to go all the way through this time. Luckily, I can ride my bike inside of the cave. This time, we're actually going to be going through. No surprises here. I'm going to be fighting Diglett. That's pretty much all that is here. That's why I have Sanders out front. Flying types are, of course, immune to all ground moves. Makes things a little bit easier for me. Even though sometimes it doesn't make sense. Am I going to find the other one? Nope, more Digletts. There's something else here that I do want to show off. Wild Pokemon can be so stupid sometimes. I know he has moves that can actually hit Sanders, but he is not using them. As you can see, it's kind of a ways through Diglett Cave. I hope you have a flyer. Long journey through the cave. It better be worth it at the end of it. There are no hidden items in here, unfortunately. Let's hope I can make it through the rest of the cave without too much issue. A couple of these Digletts are finding out that if you scratch a flyer, it still does damage, as opposed to magnitude 10, which does nothing, because Sanders can fly. I went inside Rock Tunnel, but it's pitch black and scary in there. If I could get a Pokemon to use Flash and light it up. Flash. We're not going to talk about Flash just yet. Let's just say I don't like it too much. And we have made it back out to Route 2. And as you can see, we couldn't have made it any further than this without Cut, which I do have, but I haven't taught it to anybody just yet. Let's head into this building here where we can find this guy. A fainted Pokemon just has no energy left to battle. It can still use moves like Cut outside of battle. That makes no sense, but it's absolutely true. Should you have a Pokemon that is fainted, it refuses to fight, but it'll still do all the moves that are useful out in the real world, like Dig and Teleport, and now Cut. We'll go over how crazy that is when we find crazier things that they can do when they're fainted. But this kid back here is important. I'm looking for the Pokemon Abra. Want to trade one for my Mr. Mime. This is the trade in Red, Blue, and the remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green. The answer to this would almost always be no. There are a couple exceptions, of course. If you're really jonesing for a Mr. Mime, of course, then sure. If you've got two Abras for whatever reason, sure. If you're trying to complete your Pokédex, this is the only way to get Mr. Mime. Otherwise, I would say no. No. However, in yellow, it is a Clefairy for a Mr. Mime, and I would probably say that's a good trade. Clefairy probably isn't as good as Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime's a pretty good Pokemon, but it is a Psychic type, and to be honest, even Kadabra, which is only the second evolution of Abra, I feel is better than Mr. Mime, so I would say no for most cases. Oh well. But that is the only way to get Mr. Mime if that's what you're looking for. Plus, he looks stupid. Just, ugh. But we need to get through this. In order to do that, we need to actually learn Cut. As you can see, it is a normal move, so I'm going to actually teach it to a normal Pokemon, because as I recently found out, and this blew me away, thanks to Luke kind of insisting, I looked at a few websites, and sure enough, normal moves have stab damage. I don't remember when I was told no or when or where I heard it, but I know I'm not crazy because even a few of those sites said, yeah, there was a lot of information early on in this game that normal moves did not have stab damage, and nobody ever bothered correcting me before, so I had assumed that that stuck around, but in fact, normal moves do have stab damage when used by a normal type Pokemon. I did not know that. It's not really going to change too much for me because I kind of go back and forth on normal Pokemon anyway. Either way, we need to learn Cut. 50 power, 95 accuracy. It is a basic attack. I don't know what specifically is used for Cut. I guess it depends on the Pokemon, but we're going to get rid of Tail Whip for it. And as you might expect, Cut is a decent move to have early on in the game, but becomes less effective as time goes on. This is how you teach a Pokemon a move. You get a little cutscene, and I'm not entirely sure. You just stick the CD right on their head, and through the power that compels you, Nibbler has learned Cut. I don't get it. I don't know how that works, but that's how it's done. That is how it's done. Now, in previous versions of the game, in Generation 1, and I think Generation 2 as well, this was the only way to actually use a move like Cut. You would have to line yourself up properly, like I am here with the tree, go into the Pokemon menu, select your Pokemon, then select the move, this time being Cut. However, in the later versions of the game, once again, I'm not sure on Generation 2, you can just press the button. This tree looks like it can be cut down. Would you like to cut it? Indeed, I would. Nibbler used Cut. You do get a little cutscene that was added, but hey, at least I don't have to cycle through the menu anymore. Let's continue on. Now here is also a very important spot, and it's not because of you. Once a Pokemon learns Flash, you can get through Rock Tunnel. That's not true. You can get through Rock Tunnel without Flash entirely. It will be difficult unless you have it memorized, but it's entirely possible. This is the guy that's important. Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. How many did he have? If your Pokédex has complete data on 10 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. The thing that bothers me about Professor Oak's aides, once again, Professor Oak has dedicated his entire life to Pokemon study. And he has people helping him. Based on what I can tell, there were 2 in his lab, I guess you could say. Maybe those are just the 2. Those are his only 2, and they just go around the world giving us stuff. But by this point, we've encountered 4 people that say that they're Professor Oak's aides. He has between 2 and 4 people. And he has, nothing accomplished. What has he done with all this time and manpower? Alright, what's the reward you're gonna give me? Professor Oak entrusted me with HM05 for you. Oh, I bet it's strength. So, Dumpus, let me ask you, have you gathered data on at least 10 kinds of Pokemon? Barely. Great, you have caught around 12 kinds of Pokemon. Congratulations, here you go. And we have received HM05, I bet it's strength. Put that in our TM case. HM05 contains the hidden move, Flash. Flash lights up even the darkest of caves and dungeons. That's not true either. Flash is only used in the Rock Tunnel, which granted is darker than everything else in the game, but to my knowledge it's only used the one time, even in this version of the game. I'm definitely planning on it only being used once. And it's a move that sucks. I'd be fine with Flash if it was a TM, because TMs can be replaced, right? You teach a Pokemon a TM, and next chance you get, you can just get rid of it. However, HMs are stuck on your Pokemon for eternity, so I'm not a big fan of it because the move sucks. Here it is, HM05 Flash. A blast of light that cuts the foe's accuracy. It also illuminates caves. As you can see, it doesn't do any damage. And you have a 70% chance that it even hits. So basically what happens here is you stick it on a Pokemon that you plan on getting rid of pretty soon after you go through the Rock Tunnel, because as far as I know, there's not a real reason to go back to the Rock Tunnel. Not too often. But you're just kind of stuck with Flash on the Pokemon. So I will consider using Flash. I might just go through the Rock Tunnel by memory, even though it's not going to be very visually appealing for me to do that. I'm still debating that. So, let's just move on and forget about Flash for the time being. We just learned Cut, after all. But if we go over here, we can find an Ether. In the original version of the game, this would have been an HP up. And down here, we can find ourselves a Paralyze Heal. In the original version of the game, this would have been a Moonstone. So a little bit different from here and there. All right, ready to cut yet another tree. Unfortunately, we have to go through all the dialogue again, including the cutscene, so they still try to waste time for you unnecessarily. But we have made it back to Viridian City. Now, I kind of looked at this one before, and honestly, I just saw the tree and said, oh, well, you're going to need Cut to get to that. That is not true, in fact. You can actually just go all the way around here and get your potion. Not that it's going to be incredibly vital for you in the game, but it does upset me that I didn't get it the first time through, just because I figured, why would you put the tree there if I didn't need to cut it? And I was wrong. All right, this tree looks like it can be cut down. Let's cut this and see what is on the other side. I don't believe this is a trainer. No, it's not. All right. I must have dozed off in the sun. I had this weird dream about a drowsy eating my dream, and I learned how to eat dreams. Ugh, this is too spooky. Let me teach it to a Pokemon so I can forget it. Indeed, I will. This move can only be learned once. Is that okay? Actually, no. All right. Just because I'm not sure about it, Dream Eater is a decent move, but I might want to use it on a Pokemon later on. I'm considering it. I'll have to think about that one a bit before we move on. But we are pretty much back in Viridian City, and really there's not all that much for us to do. So I'm going to go heal. Sanders could use a little bit more HP, and then we might just head back. There was nothing left for us to do in Viridian City, so I came back to Vermilion City. Also, didn't get a single fight with a Doug trio. It kind of upsets me that I couldn't find one. I did want to show that off, even though it would have been very scary. As a result of all those Digletts, though, Sanders is now up to level 22 and back in the box because, God, Sanders get levels quickly. All right, we're ready to take on the gym now, even though we were pretty much ready as soon as I got cut. Let's head inside. Now, I did actually test this a little bit earlier, and unfortunately the gyms don't work the same as they used to. All right, let's look here. The leader is Lieutenant Surge. And the winning trainers, of course, is Choo Choo, and just Choo Choo. I assume that he scratched off everybody else's name. Now, in the original versions of the game in Red, Blue, and Yellow, you can actually fish in these little statues. All you have to do is point at it and select your rod, and you can go ahead and fish right in there. However, they fixed that for this generation of the game, and it disappoints me. It disappoints me a lot. But yeah, feel free to try to fish in there. Of course, if you have the old rod, all you're gonna get is Magikarp. Yo, champ in the making, Lieutenant Surge has a nickname. People refer to him as the Lightning American. I've always assumed that Lieutenant Surge is just the stereotypical American, but he is definitely the Lightning American now. He's an expert on electric Pokemon. Bird water type Pokemon match poorly against the electric type, so don't throw your Gyarados at him by any means. Beware of paralysis too. Lieutenant Surge is very cautious. He's locked himself in, so it won't be easy getting to him. As you might imagine, though, I have myself a Fuzimi to throw at them, and he is first and foremost in my party. Now, you can try to get through this without fighting these guys, but I highly recommend that you just go ahead and fight them now. It'll make things easier for you later on. How you doing, buddy? This is no place for kids, not even if you're good. And this is a sailor that for some reason just has electric type Pokemon, and he's kind of stuck in the gym. He would like to battle, though. I always assume he's worked for Lieutenant Surge, but I guess there's no real proof of that. He could just be trying to fight alongside me. All right. Magnitude. Magnitude 8. That should kill Pikachu. Pikachu will go down no matter how cute the electric mouse is. And down goes Pikachu. And now we're up to level 22. Some good stats there. And another Pikachu. this is pretty much gonna be the strategy. Hey, look, a Pikachu. Look, a magnitude. Oh, he's got a quick attack. Ooh, that was a critical. That is not good. All right, magnitude 7. That should still be enough to take out the Pikachu. It is. All right, down goes Pikachu. I'm definitely gonna heal Fuzimi though. And down goes Sailor Dwayne. Wow, surprised me. I will take your money. Mostly healed, let's continue on. Lieutenant Surge installed the traps in the gym himself. He set up double locks everywhere. Let me give you a hint. When you open the first lock, the second lock is right next to it. Yeah, this is gonna be a puzzle. It's a random puzzle too. Pisses me off. I'm a lightweight, but I'm good with electricity. That's why I joined this gym. See, this guy definitely works for Surge. I guess the other guy did too. Even though he didn't say it up front. Engineer Bailey. Hey, HC. So, we are up against a Voltorb here. Voltorb, as you remember, speedy, but that's pretty much it. I believe my Fuzimi's actually faster right now, though. Magnitude should finish him off. Ooh, 5, though. Voltorb's pretty weak, but I don't think he's that weak. No, he's not that weak. All right. And he goes for Screech. That's fine. Harshly felled, but that's fine because I don't think he'll be using Quick Attack or anything like that. And as long as I get over a 4 here, I'll be fine. Yeah, 5 will do. 5 will do just fine. And down goes the Voltorb. And we get a good chunk of experience, and he busts out a Magnemite, which, once again, does not levitate, even though it totally should. And out comes Magnemite. I'm probably going to need a good magnitude here to do it. 7 should probably take out the Magnemite. I would think, at least. Yeah, there you go. That's all it takes. Down goes the Magnemite. Now, that's one of the problems with this game. Electricity is so good of a type, but they don't really show that early in the game. They look really weak because all they throw at you are like Voltorbs and Pikachus and Magnemites. And we have defeated Engineer H.C. Bailey. Fried! And we get over 1,000. Nice to beat you, actually. Okay, I'll talk. Lieutenant Surge said he hid door switches inside something. I wonder what they could have been, considering this is all that they're giving me. I'm gonna risk it. Let's go for it. When I was in the Army, Lieutenant Surge was my strict CO. You seem a lot older than him. Like, what's under Lieutenant? Hold on. In the Army? Let's just call you Private. Possibly Sergeant? He was a hard taskmaster. And we are up against this old gentleman who apparently is still in the Army. Gentleman Tucker would like to battle. And he has a Pikachu. Level 23. Same as Fuzimi. Magnitude, anything over about a 6 or a 7 should do it. 8, it's more than enough on a Pikachu. Why would you make your mascot of the entire series, like, as weak as he is? Shouldn't he be one of the best? Because all the kids want a Pikachu, you know? Alright, either way, down goes Gentleman Tucker. Stop, you're very good! And we get a ton of money for this guy that apparently can't move up the ranks of the Army very quickly. Must be in the Galbadian Army or something. It's not easy opening that door. Lieutenant Surge was always famous for his cautious nature in the Army. Indeed, I'm sure he was. Alright, so before we solve this puzzle, I'm just going to head back to the Pokemon Center because I can. I don't necessarily need to, but I want to play extra cautious as well.